goal with the 7 on it that I just hit is 516. Yeah, so that's like 520, 530.
Really? Oh my God.
I mean, that's past the 500 foot net. So that's fun.
In this video, I'm going to go over how I like to build a bag, and I'm going to feature Cameron Hoffman, fellow coach. He worked for Overthrow, right?
Yep.
I got to make sure I address the camera because we have a new mic. But we're going to go over how I like to build my bag, kind of the slots I'm looking for at each speed, and we're going to basically do a fieldwork session where we inspect Cam's bag and see if I think there's anything he's missing or anything that maybe he thinks flies one way when really it flies another way.
We know of one disc at least.
Yeah. All right, stay tuned. All right. So the first thing we want to talk about, we're not talking about putting putters today. We're going to talk about throwing putters. We're going to do backhand first. So backhand, first what we're going to do is, this is the way I like to do it. I throw everything on my stock angle. So my stock angle is a slight hyzer, maybe 15 to 20 degrees of hyzer. Some people are going to be anywhere from 10 to 20 is usually people's stock angle. So we're going to go through the whole bag on stock angle first, and I'm going to ask for different slots and see how they fly. So first, let's talk about throwing putters. So this would be off the tee. This can also include approach discs, so 2, 3, 4 speed probably.
Okay.
I guess 1, 2 if you include a bird.
Yep, slash range.
So we're going to start at the lowest speed. This is the least distance. I would expect this disc to top out around 300 feet.
Berg X.
Yeah, so stock angle with the Berg X. Perfect. So I'm guessing that's about 250, 260.
Yeah, with the slight uphill.
And never flips over, doesn't hyzer out super hard. And then usually with 1 and 2 speeds, you can only really get 3 slots, I guess, but I want an overstable slot, a straight slot, and then an understable slot. But most people have, you know, the range is their understable slash straight.
Yeah.
So same stock angle, we expect this just to go straight, maybe 275, 300 top. Yeah. Not bad, a little low.
Yep.
All right, next, throwing putters, we want basically your most overstable. This is gonna be your utility disc. Okay, so on your stock angle, we're gonna want this to fade very hard and skip. Not awful, maybe not quite as overstable as I would like. In my bag.
The A3 is like that, but skips more.
A3 is like that, but skips more, okay? Okay, and what's the difference between those two discs?
One will skip, one will not skip.
Okay.
Especially on hard ground.
All right, so the next slot would be a straight to stable throwing putter, right? So thrown on your stock angle, pretty much goes straight and then fades at the end. That's the goal.
The magical A3.
Also, be careful that you don't change your angle to make the shot I say, because that's very common. Pretty perfect. I would say it could flip a little more. What's next?
We've got the Envies and Proxy, and then the PA5/PA7.
Holy crap! Okay.
Half my bag is putters.
Okay. What's next in the stability?
Eagle Envy.
Okay. I'm guessing this one's just gonna end straight.
Mostly, maybe gentle fade.
Okay, so what's the difference between that and that last A3?
I feel like the Eagle doesn't go, the Eagle Envy doesn't go as far.
You think?
Or it won't flare ever.
Will the A3 flare?
Yeah.
But you said you bag an A2 for the
no flare. But it's more overstable.
Okay. Next up, this is a proxy.
No, this is another envy.
This is another envy.
This is very straight envy.
Okay, so this one's just gonna finish straight. Okay.
Yep.
And then a proxy.
Proxy.
Okay, that is much different. Perfect. I like that slot. I have a feeling this next one's going to be exactly in that same slot.
I don't know. PA5 flips a bit more than that.
We'll see. That was like 20 degrees of flip. Okay, quite a bit. Quite a bit. All right, and then you have a PA7.
This is like the putt on 40 degrees of hyzer and it will flip up.
Okay.
So I can't really release this one on stock or it'll be a roller. So do you want to see more hyzer?
Sure. I want it to not be in the bag if that's the case, but okay, go ahead. Oh my God. All right. So, the way that I like to look at discs in my bag is I want them to be throwable on basically 3 angles. So, your specific throw will tell you kind of like how a disc flies for you. What I like to do is a spike hyzer for me is like 25 to 30 degrees of hyzer. That is pretty knife hyzer, spiking into the ground, won't really skip because the wing of the disc, if it's an overstable disc, will be going straight down into the ground, not flare angle. Then you have your stock release, which is 15 to 20, somewhere around there, 10 to 20 for other people. And then you have flat, which flat is really like your stock is usually what people call flat. And then anhyzer is really like flat. So like 0 to 5 degrees of hyzer. Most people will say I'm throwing this on anhyzer when really they're just throwing it flat. Okay. So I like every single disc in my whole bag, I want to be throwable on all 3 of those angles. If a disc is not throwable on one of those angles, I think it is just too far to one side. And there are utility slots like where that will be the case, but generally it's not. So if, like for him, he has a PA7, which is unthrowable on all but one angle, right?
Correct.
You can only throw it on spike hyzer. But it's a utility disc, maybe for when you don't have access to power, you have to step out, blah, blah, blah. So I'm kind of okay with having like 1 or 2 of those. But generally, I would say you have too many putters.
Okay.
You have too many putters. Like they do pretty much the same thing. Like the Envy and the A3 are like the exact same disc. And then you have 2 other A2, A3, where the only difference is you say one skips and one doesn't.
Yeah, the A2 will like kind of sit, and the A3 can flare like a fairway or a driver.
Okay. So I would personally say I would trim like 2 of those out.
Okay.
Maybe keep the PA5, cut the PA7.
Okay.
And then keep the A3, cut the Envy.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you can get a better understanding of a smaller amount of discs, you can make them do stuff a little better just because you know the discs better. And I'm also someone who loves relying on the disc for the shot and not changing much about my own throw. So I do get that. But having like, was it 7 putters? So 7 discs that are like the same distance basically, right?
Yeah.
300 feet-ish. All right. So we're gonna move on to mid-ranges. And I know we have some weird, we have some fluky stuff going on in the mid-ranges. Yeah. First of all, we're gonna go overstable mid-range.
Where's that? I
have 2 for you to test.
Okay.
Because you don't really have an overstable mid-range in your bag right now.
No, really.
Use an A3.
Yeah, I use the magical A3.
And it does work. Yeah. I've seen you use the A3 pretty well. But we're gonna test some overstable mid-ranges today just to see the distance potential.
Stock?
Yep, stock here. Great. Really good shape there. And then ultra, I think this is gonna be a little more overstable. Same throw.
Oh, it's slow.
You blasted that. All right. So those are the overstable mid-ranges. Actually, you can throw one more. You can throw my quake.
Okay.
I brought my bag just in case we need any. Yeah. Okay. The quakes flew pretty much the same. All right. Then we got, that was the almost overstable. Then we got a straight to stable mid-range, which you say is your Chariot.
Yeah, perhaps a new one. We learned yesterday that I'm a fraud. That's what I think this flies like.
We'll see. Yeah, so I'd say that's like pretty good for an understable mid-range. Yeah. Mako 3's next. This is his current understable mid-range.
Yeah, those are the same.
They fly very close. And then one more. I'm gonna let you throw this Mustang here.
What about the brand new Chariot?
Throw it. See what it flies like. Yeah, okay. That's much more what we want in that slot.
Yep. It's a good disc.
Good disc. One more, just to like keep throwing your arm off. Try to get this one the same height as the Chariot. Okay, so definitely the last two had that more bite at the end. They ended kind of on a little bit of fade, but I definitely think we already talked about this. The Chariot and the Mako 3 are too close.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take out the Mako 3.
I think so.
And we're gonna put the new Chariot in.
Yeah, I like cycling.
Okay, that works for me. Especially if we could find a little bit more stable of the Chariot, which I can probably help you do.
Okay.
Infinitist.com.
Bye. Now.
All right, so we are done with mids. Let's move to fairways. This is where I think you also have some issues. So I'm gonna count all 7 and 9 speeds as just fairway drivers. I don't think there's that big of a difference between them. I think they all are gonna go around 400 feet for you.
I don't see a huge difference between
7 and 9.
7 and 9.
Me neither. So we're gonna start there. So grab all your fairways.
Does the 11s count as fairways or no?
No.
Cool.
11s are distance. You have 4.
Yep.
Okay.
3 Explorers, 1 FD3.
3 Explorers, 1 FD3. So we're gonna start at most overstable.
FD3.
And I'm gonna throw mine after yours. All right. Not bad. So my opinion is your fairway driver category should be your biggest category. You should have the most discs in this slot, in these slots, than any other slot, because they should be what you're using the majority of the time on the course when you actually need to like shape shots, especially in the wind. So you're either gonna be throwing a distance driver, which you're gonna have like 3 favorites: overstable, straight, understable, or you're gonna be throwing like 1 of 2 mids usually. And then your fairway drivers, most pros have like 5 to 7. Okay, so I'm gonna throw my overstable fairway driver just to show you how overstable it is on my stock shot.
That do be beefy.
And you can see how beefy that is.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to see you have a more of a utility beef disc like that, because there's some cool shots you can do with that.
Yep.
Next, most stable. Should be your FD3 here.
Yeah, this is the Opto X Explorer.
But this is okay. This is your like your straight to stable?
Yeah, it's not as overstable as the FD3.
Okay.
That was a little bit more high.
Nice. Glidey overstable. I'd
Yeah.
say this is okay. Throw mine. I think that's where my Tesla is.
Okay.
What you just did. I think this is too stable for that slot. That's more like your FD3, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I would say maybe like between the 2.
Okay.
You want to throw the Tesla?
I want you to throw the Tesla.
Oh, okay.
And I want to see how it flies compared to that Explorer.
Oh, just low. I think it flips more though.
You think it flips more?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And then next fairway slot is what? Straight to, just straight?
Straight to turn.
Flip up, go straight?
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like. I have a feeling it's going to be too understable.
has the Smith release.
Not bad though.
Yeah.
How does it fly for real?
Normally we'll like flip up, drift, and then kind of flatten out.
Okay.
But I think it's starting to get to my flippiest, just from how much stuff it's hit.
I found this in a used bin. Frisbee Club, Broadberg. Watch how flippy this thing is.
Yeah, Firebirds aren't supposed to do that.
Good fade at the end though. I don't know, that this could be nasty.
It could be. It could be.
Okay.
And this is like my flippiest Explorer.
Okay.
More of like the flip up turnover. That's where it is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what it does on stock.
That's what it does on stock.
Yeah.
So it's like your roller disc.
If yeah, because I don't have a roller disc other than.
Okay.
It used to be. I used to have like a 150 gram Roadrunner.
All right. Here's my most understood.
What's your most understable?
My most understood.
You don't want your most understable disc in fairways turning over?
And I threw that on
Okay.
Kaiser.
Okay, true.
Right? And it got all the way to flat.
Okay.
So the way that I like to do it is like, that was on a pretty deep hyzer, right? So like 20 to 25 degrees. And I probably should have thrown it stock, you're right. To show like for like. But the way that I like to do it is, on my deepest hyzer, like my spike hyzer angle, right? I want my flippiest fairway to basically get all the way to flat. And usually that slot is the same slot that makes it usable on flat angle, but barely.
Okay.
So those are the bounds I like to set. Flat has to be able to be used. Spike hyzer, like it usually gets up to flat for that same amount of foot.
Okay.
So that's what I like to set, just to make like, for my base. Obviously you can have utility discs that just kind of sit outside there.
Yeah.
But usually not too many. So distance drivers.
Yep.
Let's check them out.
Order of overstability?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the machete to start, which we know I don't really like that much. But it's very overstable.
Okay, so utility disc overstable basically.
Yeah.
That's my Conquer Swirly S blend.
I like that more.
Yeah.
I like that more.
A little more push. A little more push. I'll throw a wrap just for fun.
Yeah, this is where long hair problems come in. It's just like you throw hard, your button comes out.
I think it's overstable at the end. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So I threw that horribly, but we'll cut it. We'll cut it. I'll go T-Bird. This is the most overstable
You can't cut this one.
All right, can't cut this. This is the most overstable T-Bird I've ever seen. This is a Jen Allen T-Bird. I was like, man, this actually feels really good for a T-Bird. I bought it. This thing is a meathead. 7-speed.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna try to throw it flat.
Yeah, it is basically Firebird.
Dude,
It's so overstable.
it's so overstable. All right, what's next?
The
This is your
Halo S.
straight to stable.
Yeah, what in my bag it's the most overstable one. Other than, but the reason I put the machete in is because I threw into a headwind. This fellow was like, woo!
Of course. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. By the way, just for you guys' knowledge, we have a left to right tail, fairly consistent 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's not awful,
Yeah.
but it's more straight than
Correct.
straight to stable.
Yeah. This is the moon dust one.
Okay, moon dust. Wait, what? Is that how it normally flies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why should it not?
I mean, they both landed straight.
Yeah, that one turned more.
Okay. Next, this is a straight to understable?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then this is your understable.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A very well-loved race.
Okay.
Was once overstable. That was a bit more hyzer because I don't normally throw that stock, but that just kind of clicked in.
All right. We're gonna go collect these. Well, I think on this. I think distance drivers wise we have too much overlap somewhere. We'll see though. We're gonna throw on one more angle when we get back, and then I'm gonna extrapolate the middle angle from there. Usually I like to see all three angles, but we'll throw on the stock and flat.
Okay.
And then I'll extrapolate where the spike's going to be, because it's pretty easy to do, honestly. You can see how disc flies 2 angles. You're pretty close on the third. Yeah. And then we'll decide what I think Cam should do with his bag.
Sounds good. Did you want to see any of the other EMPs I have?
Oh, sure. I want to see how one of my discs flies for you. It helps me gauge, like...
I mean, we've got this fat stack.
Throw this. I want to see how this flies for you.
This is a bit higher launch angle than normal.
That's my straight to stable. I blend up. I don't think I'm feeling it today, but I think it's up there. I thought it would flip more.
No, it's kind of stable.
Holy shit, I actually blasted that too. If it would have flipped, that would have been a banger.
This is the fun one. The Waco special. Yeah. It flipped, but it unflipped.
Oh, this one's flippier.
That one is flippier. Lord save my Prius.
No. I think it's really flippy.
Yeah, that used to be in the flippiest slot.
One more. I want to try to get one going on here. Is this flippy too?
That one? No.
Okay.
As far as I remember.
Oh, it's really overstable actually. Man, those two are not even close together. This one's so flat, it's not gonna go anywhere.
This is the one you liked though.
Forehand. Yep. That's actually really good though. That flatness gives it like zero glide. It just wants to dump. Pretty good. You think that's 500?
Maybe we can measure.
Don't want. I need to lighter this.
This is the one that I got really nice out of the used bin. It's like basically brand new. I've thrown it once.
Easier when you know what the discs do. Last one.
The goal with the 7 on it that I just hit is 516. Yeah, so that's like 520, 530.
Really?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, the goal closer one with the 7 on it.
Interesting. I'm gonna get out UDIS to measure when we roll. Okay, so we went and collected. Had some bombs, by the way, off camera. Actually, maybe we got them. If we did, I'll put some in here. Good 500 footers. So, one thing I noticed while we were out there collecting, the A3, the A series disc, which you're using as mid-ranges functionally at the moment, go about 300 feet. And we are a tiny bit uphill, but also we have a tiny bit of tailwind, so I feel like it kind of evens out. My discs were pretty much where I expected them to be, so it's probably close.
I know on a full yam, the orange A3, I can get to 350.
Okay.
And I feel comfortable with it at full power at 330. But yeah, functionally, like for stock speed, it's like 300 feet.
Okay.
And so I'm like, if I walk up to a T-pad and I see like it's around 300, I'm like, it's an A series.
Yes. Okay. So, the mid-ranges you threw, Pathfinder, Quake, were farther.
Yes.
325, 330,
Yeah.
even the overstable one.
Yeah.
So that's good to know. We're gonna go through another set real quick. It's gonna be our last set, and then we're gonna make some decisions. This set, we're gonna focus on throwing flat. So no matter if
the hardest thing for me.
no matter if the disc can be thrown flat or not,
Yeah.
I just want you to throw it flat.
Okay.
So I want to shed some light on which ones of these discs are just unusable at that angle, which should help us make some decisions, I think.
Okay. Where do we start?
Start at the lowest of the low.
So the Bergs.
Yep, Berg in range. I expect the Berg to just go dead straight and then maybe just a hair of fade at the end.
Okay.
And I expect the range to turn the whole way.
Flat.
Man, that is kind of a tailwind, it has to be.
I told you that range is also just more stable than yours.
Yes.
It's kind of nice, but I like it to be a little bit more beat up.
Yeah. It'll get there though. Not bad. Not bad. A little flatter.
Okay. Flat is so hard for me.
I think when you watch this back, you'll be like, I was throwing on 10 degrees of hyzer.
Probably.
Nice and flat. Here we go. Okay, so you're telling me that's not enough turn. You need another disc.
I mean,
That's not good enough.
I'll show you what I do with the PA set.
No, I don't want you to show me a spike hyzer. I want you to throw it flat.
It's more of like
And show that it's literally
it's a disc
impossible
for
to throw
like
flat.
if I'm in jail and I just go like it flips up.
All right, do it.
Like it's my I'm in jail kind of disc.
Okay, I'm okay with utility discs. It's fine, but the other one is pretty utility too.
Yeah, I could see myself getting rid of the 7 for the 5. I just
Putters.
it would hurt.
It would hurt. But it's just because you're attached to it?
I mean, it's got the structural integrity of a quesadilla.
So how often do you think you use it on the course?
I'll use it for like long range jumpers. Well, I guess I don't jump anymore because I can get to like 80 something with a standstill putt now. But it's what I used to use to be like, oh, this just has to like pan. So I probably use it like
Let's go most overstable to start.
max like once or twice a month.
Really focus on throwing these flat, because I gotta say they flop. So you're trying to get this as far as possible. Okay. Dumpy. Real dumpy.
Not as flat.
That one was on a hyzer, but that's like the exact same disc as the last one.
I don't really know what happened on that one.
Threw it 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
All right, these guys. Interesting. Okay.
Throwing high is what tends to happen when I throw flat.
I see. You're just blasting them into the sky. I'm like, I have no clue.
All right, let me try to focus on throwing out. There we go.
That's better. That's the proxy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mid ranges. And I'm going to give you these two again. So you know how they fly.
Starting understable.
Start stable.
So I need these.
Flat. Okay. What is that?
Pathfinder.
What? That's alarming. Where is the Mustang?
I think it's still out there.
Oh, where's the Ultra?
Right there.
All right, throw that one. That one's more dumpster. I'm gonna throw this one last.
Cool.
I'll
Well,
let the hair shenanigans.
I don't know how James Conrad throws with his hair like that. With his hair out, because I just get like hit in the face.
Alright, same shot.
That one felt like it slipped out a little bit.
Yeah, that was definitely not fun. That's good. Alright, now your mid-ranges. The new Chariot first. Flat cam. Not how you want it to fly, just flat. That's way more stable than this one.
Oh yeah.
It's not even close.
That's why I wrote flips.
That's the whole plot different. Okay, I like that disc though, for this slot.
It is nice.
Let's see what this makeup is. Flat.
Found this one in a swamp in Florida. Yeah, it's basically the same as Chariot.
Yeah, those are the same disc. Okay. Fairways. Flat, 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 flat. Okay, that thing fought out and dug. Okay. Flat. Okay, I like that slot. Beautiful. That was a great flip.
Yeah. It doesn't roll. It flips a lot.
This one's gonna roll.
Oh, this one will roll. Or it won't because I slipped a little bit.
Okay. Nice toss though. Take a little break.
Yeah, I'm feeling gassed.
I'll throw a couple of these M's. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, it's distance drivers. We already know that machete's coming out.
Yeah.
You can just throw that away.
Sorry, Discraft.
All right, let's go to your most stable.
I feel like that could have been classified as Anheuser for me. I think that's what you're telling me to do. If you mean flat by body position.
I just want you to throw it flat. That's it. And when it comes out of your hand, I want it to have 0 degrees of hyzer.
Okay, well that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Oh my God.
Maybe I should aim over there.
I think so. Also, I'm pretty sure you hit some metal.
I definitely did. I mean, that's past the 500-foot net.
It looks like it.
So that's fun.
But we gotta remember that we're looking at stabilities, not...
I know. This is fun. I don't normally throw that.
You don't normally throw this high.
No. I'm normally like, how about 15 feet off the ground?
I can't tell what's happening. I'm like, how flip is that? I don't know if it's 100 feet in the air.
Hopefully I didn't walk.
I like that race.
It's good
All
for
right,
turnovers.
flat this guy. Not 100 feet in the air, please.
I'll try, boss.
What in the world? I'm so confused.
Maybe take a slow-mo of me throwing flat and see
How
what
are you
it's actually...
turning this over so hard? I don't think I could turn that disc over flat. You turned it over like...
I don't know, because I throw like 1,300 RPM. Maybe flat I lose it?
I don't know. Those are so... That's so unstable for that disc. Like, dude, that is so turned. It's that high.
Okay, like 20 feet short of the 500 net. But yeah, that is weird.
Does it not seem like you just got a lot less stable?
I don't know. I think you should film a slow-mo of me from behind and see what the angle actually is.
Oh, I crushed that.
I mean, that's past the 500-foot net.
It looks like it.
So that's fun.
Huh.
Although Neil did say, he's like, he thinks I throw faster when I throw flat. Oh, there's a man. Public service announcement, do not hit people. It comes out on hyzer. I also have low back extension, which I know I do when I throw flat, which is why I tend to avoid throwing flat. Like I've got some burp.
Yeah. So I've seen this before though. People will introduce wobble subconsciously to make a disc turn.
I don't know. Well, obviously I'm doing it subconsciously.
Yeah, you're doing it subconsciously, but also it results in the flight you want, usually.
Yeah.
So it's not like the end of the world.
Do you think I should just try to be very straight through my walk up on this one? See what happens?
Just don't go for distance. Think about it as there's like a tunnel and you need to throw an overstable disc flat to skip left at the end, you know?
How's it like 70% power?
That's drastically different, right?
Yeah, here's an actually overstable one. I'll try to throw it harder.
Very different.
I think it's just, I have to think about being very straight through the walk-up. Whole time, Cam. That is how that race flies, though.
Yeah, but it flew a lot better than it was before. Like, I feel like if that was the other way you were throwing, it would have been burned.
That's like 5-something. Dang, maybe I'm a throw flat kind of guy, actually.
All right, let's go through and figure out what we want to swap Ruski. I like the Berg X range combo. I run the same combo myself, so obviously I'm a little biased.
Okay.
But I think this is a great combo for like inside 300, maybe inside 275 for most people. Overstable. This one's pretty neutral.
Yeah.
Slight drift. I do think this needs to be beat up a little bit, and maybe I think the glow ranges are slightly less stable.
Based on what I've seen yours do, yeah.
Mine's a little bit older too, though, than yours.
Okay.
I've been using it for quite a while, and this is pretty brand new.
Yes.
So, those are staying. I love them. Putters. We've got a lot of putters. An absurd amount of putters.
I love my putters.
Okay. Most overstable is this guy, right?
Yep. And I have other A2s that are a bit more overstable than that.
I don't hate it. Next slot. This. This is too close. Right?
It's basically the same flight, but skips.
The same flight, but skips.
So like where I would need a skip to get left or to get right, but can't really throw a fairway, then I use that A3. But I guess it is possible I could do the same thing with the beat-in A3. Or just have the A2 not in there and just know I'll get skips.
So these are your next two.
Yeah.
Skips doesn't skip.
Both of those skip, A2 does not skip.
Where's the A2? Oh. Are you sure this doesn't skip?
Not like an A3 does.
I'll be the judge of that.
It'll probably still skip. Yeah.
That skipped a lot. Where's the last one? And this is the less stable one, but it still skips?
Yep.
I think the pink one goes.
Okay.
Don't you? Because can't you just throw the orange one a little bit more hyzer?
Probably.
And it'll skip the same?
Yeah.
That's a lot of discs.
Okay.
But we can
we can always be like, I'm gonna go without it for a month and see what happens.
And that's just a preliminary, right? So, okay, then we got, basically these are only backhand.
Yeah.
Okay. We got proxy, or we got NV.
Mm-hmm.
These fly.
The Eagle McMahon one is just a smidge more overstable.
Quite a bit more.
Yeah.
This one flips to flat.
That one flips to flat. This one never flips.
And then this is understable.
Yep.
And then this is the most understable.
Yep.
And then this is even more understable.
Yeah, that's the ungodly.
So if it were me, I would like to see this.
Okay.
Flip this to flat if you need something to go straight.
Mm-hmm.
That's your overstable throwing putter. You have.
I feel like the proxy is hard to flip flat because like my stock, it comes up and drifts over, so it would have to be more hyzer. But I can try it real quick if you want to see it.
Throw it to the car.
Okay, maybe it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. I think that those two are out. But I'll let you keep this as a utility disc if you want some cute PA7 shots. I don't.
You can put it in the cutout for now.
I don't mind it, honestly, because there are some times where the cute shot is just cool and like actually saves you.
Yeah.
It's fairly.
It doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
That's why it's a utility disc.
Okay. Mids. I want to see this leave.
Cool.
Only because this does the exact same thing, and I know you like this disc a lot. And I've seen you throw it, and you throw it really well. Mm-hmm. So that's staying 100%.
Okay.
This disc does the same thing, it's out.
All right.
This is the exact same disc as that, but it's more stable because it's fresh.
Yep.
I want this to stay for sure.
Okay.
I want you to add an overstable mid.
So the Quake?
Yes, and you can try to find, maybe we try to find you a little bit more overstable than Quake.
Okay.
Or more overstable than Ultra.
Okay.
But this will work for now. It's pretty overstable, and it's not like that. It doesn't drift like that. It's a different flight. And it's kind of skippy too. And especially, you can forehand it.
Yeah.
Very well. So I know you're working on your forehand.
Yep.
You need a good forehand mid that you can trust, and you don't have to like smash the A3s so hard.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the issues. I think you have to smash those A3s when you're like barely in range, right?
Yeah.
Fairways.
Most are out there.
Oh yeah, you threw a couple already. This is too flippy.
Right.
You can use it as your roller. Do you want this as like a PA7 utility disc roller? I'm okay with that.
All right.
So then you got overstable. I like this. I think you need one more tick.
Okay.
Because you want something you can just smack and know it's going to skip left every time, almost like the machete, right? But a 9-speed.
Yeah.
Most people have 9-speed. You could probably just put the machete in that slot if you want.
I don't know if it's just, it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what this 9-speed is going to do too, though.
Okay.
It's just a utility.
Do I need
shots,
just a fresh?
A fresh
FDs?
might work, depending on how stable these were when they first came. But you want something you can do like, and it'll like come out. You know?
Yeah. I don't. Try with this.
Disgusting. That's what you want. Because you want something like if you need to pitch around.
Yeah. But is the Conqueror essentially going to do that? The one that I bought?
No.
Okay.
No. It's not a meat hook overstable 9-speed. It is a overstable distance driver, which is just different.
All right.
It's domey, so it actually will go before it fades.
Okay.
Where that is like, it doesn't want to go anywhere.
Cool.
It's like, and I'll show you my overstable fairway is probably about the exact same stability as the machete. I'm going to chop it over even a little more, I think. You see how useful that could be
Yeah.
when you have to use it. I love your mids. I don't know where your pile up like done.
They're over here.
We love these. And then fairways are already out there. I like getting rid of that one if you don't need the roller, but if you do throw rollers, keep it.
I don't.
Okay. Then you probably don't need it. Your white one is more than flippy enough, in my opinion.
Yep. And probably put the pink that's not the one with the old man stamp, the one that I threw and being like testing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably put that one in, or no.
Okay.
So it's in between over the stable one.
Yeah.
And the flip.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Okay.
And then that overstable fairway there is going to be like the bookend.
Yeah, so it's like the overstable Explorer, which has like the old man stamp.
Yep.
The pink one I just threw a little bit ago that like flipped
the
up
silvery
road
one.
for a long, and then the glow.
And then you're gonna have a bookend of the Fireball, basically, Firebird, basically.
Yeah, I mean I do have a Fireball.
That's what we need this.
/ Scepter.
Let me try both of these. I don't think this will be stable enough. I haven't thrown in a while. Nope, not even close. This will. I know this will, because this used to be my slot for this shot. Yep, put that in the bag.
Okay.
That's what you need in that
So
slot.
Fireball, FD3, 3 Explorers.
Yep.
Cool.
I love it. And then distance drivers.
Those 4.
These are so close together. This one stays. I love the understable flight, and I think you throw it well. Also, I think this run of Wraith is goated. These two are very close together. Very close. And this is just straight. So I like this one next, and then this one might just be a backup.
Okay.
'Cause these are like the same slot.
All right.
And this one's understable, right?
Yeah, it's definitely more understable.
So we'll go 4 distance drivers.
And so like putting in the
I don't know, man. This is not.
The Conqueror you had me buy, or like the Halo C imp.
Yeah, I like these are too close. What do these fly like for
Too
you?
close? I mean, this one goes straight fade. This one will flip up, turn over, then come back.
Throw them both. at the car on stock hyzer. Don't mess
There's
it up.
a man at the car.
You're not gonna hit that man. You're gonna hit the trees if you ever get close to that. Yeah, so that's straight. Yeah, flip up, tiny bit of turn, come back. Flip up, tiny bit of turn, come back. This is the same disc cam.
I don't think they are, and they don't feel like it to me.
Every time you throw that Halo M,
yeah,
you think it's gonna be overstable, and it's not.
Okay.
It's the same disc, right? Remember the shot where he turned it?
Yeah.
It's not overstable. So, I would like to add 2 distance drivers.
Okay.
I would like to keep this, and you can choose the luster of the Halo.
Okay.
They're the same freaking disc. And then I'd like to add like a Halo C.
Okay.
Right, so an
Chain
overstable Emperor.
Yeah.
And then a Conqueror.
Okay.
I think that's gonna be better for you. And like, if you want to have one more slot in there, I think I have 4. I have super flippy, like straight but flips a little more, straight but flips a little less. Actually, I have 5.
If I was gonna do that, then I would have both.
You can have both of those.
Both of those, because I feel like the other one does flip more in general.
The
pink one, the pink luster flips more than the swirly for me. Just in general, I believe.
Wow. That was less stable now. Okay. That's what I like to see. But you can do whatever you want. Obviously, it's your freaking bag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So hopefully that was helpful. We're probably not even in the frame.
Yeah, we're in frame.
Okay. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. It's just a test video for this microphone as well. So if it doesn't turn out well, you won't never see it. Maybe I'll send Cam a couple of the clips. But thanks for joining me, Cam.
Of course.
Thanks for hosting me in Austin, Texas here.
Yeah. Can't wait to join you in Washington.
And yeah, we'll see what his bag looks like in a few months. We'll see how much of this he listens to and how much of this he blows off, which is totally understandable. I would blow people off too. It's just suggestions, right? Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and peace.